Well, it's a large crowd here once again in Rotterdam that greets the arrival of the two teams, Australia against the Netherlands. There's the Australian lineup for this key game here in the 23rd FIH Men's Champions Trophy, sponsored by Rabobank. No real surprises there. Australia will be looking to bounce back after a defeat yesterday. No place in the starting lineup either for Troy Elder, number 5, or 17, Craig Victory. Well, Barry Dancer has an experienced enough squad here as they look to rebuild. The Netherlands, with a huge home support here once again, pretty much a capacity gate. Teun de Dwyer, number 14, the key man for them. Again, no place in the starting lineup for number 2, Bram Lomans, their corner specialist. Dutch coach there, Joost Bellaert. Sun's come out in Rotterdam to greet these two teams. Very fortunate indeed that Western Europe is going through something of a late Indian summer at the moment. Warm-ish temperatures now the sun is out. Reasonable breeze, the flags standing away from the flagpoles. Holland got a point in their first game against Pakistan. He's not checking up on the football scores, he's wired for sound to coaching and video support in the stands. Very high-tech game hockey's become. So victory all important today for both camps. The top 6 teams in the world as measured after the Sydney Olympics. This game, a rematch of that heartbreaking, from an Australian point of view, semi-final in Sydney, when Holland sneaked past the splendid host nation by the cruelest of margins, with Australia missing out on penalty strokes. Both teams have had to undergo severe surgery to their squad since those games. And it'll be Australia in the yellow shirts who get this game underway. Australia going from right to left as we look at them. Holland G'd up by the excellent support they can always guarantee here. Always a hard team to beat at home. But the Dutch team yesterday didn't look at their most fluent. Still a lot of work to be done. Now, Sander van der Weyde. Holland has got the ball, trying to keep possession. Knocked away there by Livermore, and that'll cost Australia 10 metres on the pitch. The umpires for this game are Steve Wright and Ray O'Connor. Steve Wright from South Africa, Ray O'Connor from Ireland. There's a new stadium for international hockey in Rotterdam, so the crowd seem to be giving it quite a housewarming. Excellent atmosphere in and around the stadium, all the usual tented facilities you expect from a major world event. The Netherlands proving to be such wonderful hosts of hockey. Now, Van der Weyde, good ball forward. Trying to play in Rob Derricks. The Dutch bench, Remco van Wijk there in the middle. Started yesterday, but got a little bit of a niggle. May play a part later on. And the Dutch goalkeeper there, Guus Vogels, just allowing the ball to cannon into the sideboards. No danger. Call to action. Adam Cummins there, number 3 for Australia, with the shorn head. Competitive little player. Covers every inch of the pitch for Australia. And here's another great competitor, Captain Paul Godoyne, knocking the ball back into play. So, quite a feast of hockey in store for us throughout the tournament, and there'll be few better matches than this one in prospect here. Delmay plays the ball through for Derricks. Livermore's got it though for Australia. This is promising from them. Powerfully built Hiskins trying to find a way into the circle. Commons, lovely ball, chance here for Australia. Vogels did well. It was Scott Webster's shots raining in on goal there, but Vogels stood his ground well. Commons came off a Dutch foot. It'll be a hit to Australia. Wells takes it, plays it to Livermore. Came off Commons' foot. It'll be a hit to the Netherlands. Taken quickly. Oh, good ball now, Dwyer. Lovely ball from Dwyer. That wasn't too far away at all. Matthias Brouwer out there on the left-hand side. Every time Teun de Nooijer gets the ball, you expect something to happen good for the Netherlands. Here he is again, trying to find a way through. Such a complete player. Earlier today, Pakistan defeated Korea by 2 goals to 0. Still to come, England against Germany. The 2 unbeaten teams in the tournament, or rather the 2 teams with a 100% record playing against each other. So something's got to give there. There's Taka Takema, who, while Lomans remains off the pitch for Holland, will surely bear the brunt of the Dutch corner routine. Very powerful flicker of the ball, Takema. Not the tallest player on the pitch by any stretch of the imagination. Now Hiskins. Good strong run by Hiskins. Very, very good defending indeed there by the Dutch. Denying the big Australian striker. Built like a tank. And it's pretty tough out there at the moment. Matthew Wells there being clattered by Pete Harris. Wins the free hit. 2 hard men. Now Paul Godoyne for his team, Australia. Well done by Wells, but still not clear. Good chasing back there by Martin Eichelboom, making it tough for Australia to break out of their own half. Nice pick up by Del May. Whistle's gone, Holland have the free hit. Very tight marking, even in the midfield. Now de Nooijer, lovely pick-up and spin. De Nooijer going forward. He's got Eichelboom alongside him. De Nooijer goes alone. Oh, and scores! What a remarkable goal. Teun de Nooijer. And the crowd are on their feet. Well, we picked him out as the star turn, and you can see now why. Into the circle, took it wide, and the shot had too much on it for Lachlan Dwyer, and he's one of the best keepers in the world. A remarkable opening goal there for Teun de Nooijer, and Holland find themselves ahead. Well, things happen to de Nooijer and to teams that he plays for. Dwyer, I think, will be disappointed not to have got something on that. It was a well-angled shot, but not to the first of the strikes. Dwyer seemed to be wrong-footed. So, Australia behind early in the game. That's exactly what they will have wanted to avoid. Dutch crowd fervent when their team are going forward. Now, Holland again with Eichelboom. Good run. Eichelboom in on Dwyer, and this time the goalkeeper did well, coming off his line, smothering the danger. Holland in possession, came off an Australian stick. It'll be a long corner. ball boys ensuring there's no break in play. As soon as any ball out of play, then a new one is placed on the line. There's Jeremy Hiskins. Scored Australia's goal against Germany yesterday, and a very good goal it was. Australia went ahead, but then were pegged back in the second half by a strong German performance. Long ball over the top, looking for Dwyer and finding a lovely reverse pass there. Dwyer's down, scrambling the ball over that goal line. It'll be a long corner, but Holland are buzzing. Dwyer looks like he might have a busy afternoon. Careless hit in there by Dwyer. There's Eichelbohm. Well, that ball looks as if it was lifted as well. So both teams making a few errors. Easy interception there for Livermore, stepped up, read it well. And the ball was lifted. It'll be a hit to Holland, which they take very quickly indeed. Eichelbohm. Came off Australian foot, just outside the circle, just a metre or so outside. A hit to Holland. Del May, the Dutch captain, looks like he's going to take it. Drilled in, and the deflection high over goal there. Dwyer's stick again. Just looking for that critical deflection either into goal or onto an Australian foot. But on this occasion, safely over the Australian bar. Livermore throws it forward. Looking there to pick out Matthew Smith, who'd made a run down the left-hand touchline. These two teams have had roughly 24 hours to recover from their ordeals of yesterday. A demanding programme in this Champions Trophy, particularly in the two weekends. There are rest days in midweek. And Dwyer with a free hit. Ball back to Del May. Del May immediately closed down and fouled in the process. And Del May, I think, may have got a cut on the head. That's Jamie Dwyer. Oh yes, a stick coming up into the face of Del May. He seems to be all right. Just checking. Dwyer almost teasing runs of his. And Piet Hein Harris, still Dwyer now on the goal line. Braided well, but it's still not. That's a brilliant save on the line by the Australian captain. That was a great save by Godoin. It looked certain there that Holland would extend their lead, but the Australian captain there really doing his team proud. Brilliant save. Now problems for Holland here. Vogels is out. Oh, and Hiskins' little deflection just wide of the target. But Australia there breaking well. It was Scott Webster who set it up, and Jeremy Hiskins just wide of target from the narrowest of angles. So plenty of goalmouth action. Play switches from end to end. Lovely overhead ball there for Van der Weyde. Now Harris into the circle. Holland looking to win something here, but the free hit goes to Australia. Now Godoin, who made that brilliant goal line save just a few seconds ago. Very, very important that could prove to be. There he is, Jeremy Hiskins. Long overhead. Cleanly taken, and getting the decision as well was Dean Butler. Matty Wells knocks it out to his captain on that far side. Plenty of yellow shirts forward, but wherever you see a yellow shirt, there's an orange one in close attendance. Now Adam Cummins, a poor pass, but umpire Steve Wright judging that it came off a Dutch foot. Not a decision that Pete Hein-Harris actually agreed with. Ball lifting up Parks de Nooy, it'll be a hit out to Holland. So both teams settling into their game. Good ball forward for de Nooy. Plays a hard reverse stick pass into the circle, but straight to an Australian. It's proving to be a mental as well as a physical barrier. These two teams know each other very well, of course. Two of the great hockey nations of the world. Hiskins into the circle. Can he win something here? Ball bouncing awkwardly for him. Wins a long corner. Diedrich van Vale, the defender. Livermore. Matthew Smith running it out of play. Huge ball over the top from Takema, and very well taken indeed by Bevan George. But Harris was almost on the end of that. That was a massive ball from Takema. A good run. Dean Butler trying to find a way through, but again a very good bit of covering by Holland. Godoyne. Hiskins did well, very well. Dwyer keeps possession and wins the first corner. So good skill there by Jamie Dwyer. A few boos from the crowd, but umpire O'Connor from Ireland was well placed. The corner had already been given for the earlier challenge when he was completely surrounded. There's umpire O'Connor. Godoyne and Wells at the top of the circle for Australia. It's going to be Wells with a strike. There it is. Vogels kept it out, but it was played up in the air and coming off the body of Jamie Dwyer. Perhaps fortunate there, Holland, the ball coming up off the Dutch stick in the air. Vogels doing well, going to his right. But still Australia coming forward. There's Dwyer. Difficult ball for him to take and play legally. Hiskins. And the ball lifted by Hiskins. Free hit to Holland. Neuer. He runs so gracefully with the ball, head up, excellent vision. Not on that occasion though. Dwyer plays the first time pass, continues his run, did well. Jamie Dwyer going well for his country at the moment. And a little bit of roughhouse stuff there, attracting umpire O'Connor's attention and giving Australia a free hit. The Dutch 23-metre line you see there. Godoyne turns away. Plays it back to Wells. A raking pass forward from Wells. Difficult one there. Takema deflecting the ball into Vogels' body. And Vogels, the Dutch keeper, did well. Absolutely packed Dutch circle. Long corner. Blanket defence. All cannoning up dangerously into the crowd. I hope they were watching. Why wouldn't they be? And we've got two balls on the pitch as the ball emerges from the grandstand with interest. It's a hard enough game to umpire with one ball on the pitch, let alone two. Now with Dean Butler. Drills it in, Vogels lifts his leg, letting that one go into goal well outside the 16-yard shooting circle. Some talk in hockey, in the hockey world, about whether the shooting circle should be abandoned, allowing people to score from anywhere. To perhaps make it a more easily understood game for those watching at home and perhaps not great hockey followers. For the time being, we play to the rules as they are. Takema plays it for Van Vale. Hendricks, Van Vale, Takema. Almost like a training exercise of keep ball there. Holland have brought on Remco van Veek. There he is, number 15. Fast running forward, didn't start the game. Some suspicion of a hamstring injury which he picked up in one of the friendly internationals against England just before this tournament, hosted in Milton Keynes. Butler. Wells, lovely ball out there to Godoin. Livermore plays it well. Chance here. Still out. Vogels did ever so well. It's not clear though. Goal! Jamie Dwyer. Holland surrounding the umpire, claiming it came off a foot. And umpire O'Connor needs to keep his calm here. Let's watch it again. It was a wonderful snapshot. Vogels did well, and that's where they claim it came off the Australian foot. And you can see that the protest was immediate, but umpire O'Connor is now opting to speak to his colleague Steve Wright, who was some 60 yards away from the incident, but sometimes the perspective can help. But for the time being, the goal stands. And the goal stands. The umpires have discussed it, and umpire Steve Wright at this end obviously felt that he couldn't offer any help and assistance. So a goal it is, and Australia are back on level terms. A slight suspicion of a foot there perhaps, but we did have the benefit of a slow motion replay, and even then it wasn't completely clear. So credit to Australia, they've turned the screw on Holland in these last few minutes, raised the tempo. Brave decision by umpire O'Connor in front of this Dutch crowd, but you blow it as you see it, and umpire O'Connor was happy, and therefore we all should be. Good steal there. Eichelboom for De Nooijer. De Nooijer against Wells. Wells did well, but fouled De Nooijer in the process. Australia working hard, having got themselves back level. They won't want to concede a quick one now to the Dutch. De Nooijer, they'll need to keep an eye on him. And the goal scorer, Dwyer, breaks clear. Plays a difficult ball in for Hiskins to pick up. Australia slightly fortuitous there, and taking the free hit quickly, and perhaps too quickly there for his team, was Ben Taylor. Vader. Takema from the Klein Switzerland club in The Hague plays it forward to Dwyer from Bloemendaal. Really, there's no quarter Arsenal given out there at the moment. It's a pretty tough old game. Australia brought on Troy Elder, number 5. An experienced campaigner for them. And they'll have given their coach Barry Dancer something to be pleased about, getting back into the game, having conceded that early goal to that speculative shot from Dwyer. Australia have dug deep. Dwyer forced deep in his own half. Good closing down again from Jamie Dwyer. Now Takema looks up. Not much happening up front for Holland at the moment. Godoyne plays it for Livermore. Livermore quickly forward, fouled on the way, free hit to Australia. Wells, Craig Victory, number 17, on as they both coaches rotate their teams. Craig Victory, still only 21. Plays his hockey with the Adelaide Hotshots. Lovely first time pass there from Piet Hein Gerrits, but just not picked up by Van der Weyde. Minutes left on the clock in this first half. We are as we started, with the teams locked together, but at 1-1. Hard ball forward, and that wasn't a bad pass at all. Ben Taylor found a bit of space in that Dutch circle, couldn't trap the ball cleanly. Van der Weyde plays it square for Takema. Delmay. Australia doing a good closing down job on Delmay, the playmaker for Holland in the midfield. Very much in the Dutch engine room. Takema. Lovely ball for Dwyer. Van der Weyde will make a few metres. Piet Hein Gerrits. Free hits for Holland. Remco van Beek to strike it. In fact, he pushes it in the end. Again, a push into the circle from Van der Weyde, but needed a bit more power on it, that one. Pass intended for Victory went behind him. Dwyer. You can judge the quality of the player by the way they receive the ball. Players of the quality of Dwyer and several of the other players on display today seem to have so much time to pick the ball up, control it in one smooth motion. Now Gerrits, good strong run. Van Beek left it, but there was no support there for him. The pitch has gone Australia's way. Nice sliding take there by Takema. Wins the free hit as well, and applause from the crowd, thoroughly deserved. Committed player, Takema. Problems for Holland. Australia turning the screw, coming forward. They're finishing this half the stronger of the two teams. Godoyne with the free hit. one for Holland. Here's Karel Klaver, drilled in into the goal, but it took a deflection, not off an attacking stick, but off a defender, so it'll just be a corner. Clumsy challenge there, going in, hit out to Holland. That's what they were hoping for. Ben Taylor, big 11 for Australia on his back. Tall player. Now Dwyer deep in his own half. Dwyer. Cummins quickly in, knocking the ball out of play near the halfway line. Van Beek, no way through there though. Craig Victory, mistrapped by Victory. Sometimes it's difficult when you come off the bench to immediately find the pace of the game and find your touch. Corner to Holland. Good defensive work by Australia. Cummins powerfully through the midfield. Victory's made a run up front. That ball won't reach him though. Takema has it. Van der Weyde. This is Cummins. Jeroen Delmay for Holland. Oh, great bit of covering there by Troy Elder, throwing himself into the tackle. Now Craig Victory has it. Poor tackle. Dwyer threading one down the touchline, looking for Scott Webster. Great bit of defensive work. It needed to be a short touch on that occasion. Dwyer did well to keep the ball down in play in front of his team bench. Livermore on for Victory. What a great name for a sportsman, Craig Victory. Now the goal scorer, no way through this time though. Picked off by Takema, who plays a good ball forward as well. For Klaver, still Klaver, plays it for Dwyer. Dwyer immediately surrounded by yellow shirts. Van der Weyde for Takema. Delmay. 4.5 minutes left in this first half. Teams locked together at 1 goal each. Livermore, chief as he's known on the pitch, and wasn't much chieftainess about that challenge from Livermore. It's loose ticked on the floor. Lovely ball there to Victory, 60-yard pass, maybe more. Victory with it. Difficult ball there for Cummins, and Delmay did well, didn't need the whistle. Tough competitor, Adam Cummins. You wouldn't want to meet him on a dark night, would you? You wouldn't want to meet him in a light one either. Good man to have on your side, Adam Cummins. Now Takema. Dwyer going in with the sticks flying. Cummins picks it off, but free hit conceded. Australia angered by that. Paul Godoyne shaking his head. Dwyer plays a piercing ball through. Matthew Wells there just losing the plot for a minute. Ball going out of play. Eichelboom to play it in for Holland. Easily identified Adam Cummins with it. Livermore. Lovely prompting ball there, looking for Elder. Oh. Butler. Away from Van der Weyde. Now Troy Elder again going forward. Poor tackle coming in, but the whistle already gone. Free hit to Australia. Liverpool will take it. There's Troy Elder. Godoyne. Cummins. Saul Cummins did well to hold on to the ball there under pressure. Livermore. Wells for Godoyne. And a measure there of how much pressure the Dutch feel under, with the ball thrashed away. Crowd, excellent crowd indeed here at Rotterdam, sheltering their eyes from a low but quite bright sun. See the long shadows on the pitch. The floodlights are not on this afternoon, so that's natural sunlight casting the shadows. Perfect conditions for hockey. Lovely play there. It was Dwyer. What a ball forward as well. Now to Klaver into the circle. Klaver, good strong run, and again good defensive work by Australia. Karl Klaver there looked as if he might go all the way. Eichelboom teasing a free hit out of Australia. Dwyer with it. Likes to be involved in everything, Dwyer. Godoyne's got it moving away quickly. Plays the ball out to the right wing. Hiskins has made a run forward. That was aimed at Hiskins, but good covering by Takatakama. Godoyne for Cummins was a poor pass. Dwyer picked it off. Delmay now with it. Last few seconds. 35 minutes each half at hockey. And the half-time hooter brings to an end a highly entertaining first period of hockey. And the two teams go off to the dressing room, tied together at 1 goal each. Dwyer there scored the opening goal for Holland. And then just before the interval, in slightly controversial circumstances, Jamie Dwyer pulled it back for Australia to give us that half-time scoreline. Join us for the second half to see the outcome of this game.
The 2002 Six Nations Championship.
He's going to score a magnificent try.
The fight for Northern Hemisphere rugby dominance is on. Live Sunday morning, Scotland take on defending champions England at Murray Field.
That really is over the cup hook. Stunning try.
Who will triumph in the 2002 Six Nations Championship? Catch all the action exclusive to C7 Sport. Their mission was secret, vital, and suicidal.
Let's do it. Shooting gallery style. Let's move out.
They were the men to secure the Philippines for the American return.
You are Americans?
Marines.
Welcome, American soldiers.
Mickey Rooney, James Mitchum, and Hugh O'Brien. Ambush Bay, now showing on Movie Greats.
folks, it's me, Wayne Hoover, Slasher Prices, because we're going bananas down here for Hawaiian Week.
Fame can be a difficult thing.
It's Dwayne Hoover.
Mr. Hoover, how you doing there, sir?
People know who you are, don't they?
It's how you handle it
I like to wear women's clothes.
that makes all the difference.
You don't have to be crazy to work here, but it sure helps.
From the best-selling novel by Kurt Vonnegut comes Breakfast of Champions, now showing on Movie Extra.
From Salt Lake City, the 2002 Winter Olympics on C7 Sport.
Welcome back then to Rotterdam, and for our continued coverage of this exciting Champions Trophy game between the host nation, the Netherlands, and Australia. The game beautifully poised at half-time, 1 goal each. Holland taking an early lead through Teun de Nooijer, but pegged back by Jamie Dwyer just before the interval. And on the balance of play, that's a pretty fair reflection of the game to date, although it shouldn't go without mention the Dutch did protest vociferously about the Australian goal. Also let the record stand that the Dutch have a habit of protesting about any goal that's scored against them. Now Takema for the Netherlands. Netherlands going from right to left as we look at them. Played out before a near capacity crowd here in Rotterdam, a really magnificent Rotterdam club, brand new facility, funded from the sale of their old ground, which has become part of the Netherlands fast track railways system. So they moved out of town. Splendid complex here with 7 artificial pitches, 3 water-based fields, such as the one we're playing on here in front of you, and 4 sand-based pitches. Over 2,000 members of one club. Now, back to the action. Australia going to the Dutch circle, a little bit of obstruction. And it's the Dutch, the orange-shirted Dutch team who break. Sun's gone behind some high clouds for the time being, a little more chilly now than it was earlier in the game. Won't be too long before we see the floodlights switch on, I don't suppose. Crowd putting on the winter coats and wraps. Although very mild, it has to be said, for the time of the year. This tournament moved at the last minute to Rotterdam, originally scheduled to take place in Lahore, where obviously the temperatures would have been very different indeed. So Holland definitely shaken by that Australian riposte. Used to getting their own way, particularly on home territory. Paul Godoyne, the Australian captain, number 10, had a super first half. Dangerous stick play by Holland gives Australia a chance to come forward now. A little more to Victory. Victory returns the compliment. Commons. Adam Thomas looks up, picks out Hiskins. Hiskins, can he bring the ball under control? He can. Very close to the goal line. Still Hiskins. And Takema did well. Came off his arm, I think. We think so too. A little more skin coming off the knuckles of Takema. Poor ball. Easily picked up by Piet Hein Harris. Ekelboom. Now with Derricks out on the right-hand side, it goes. Van der Weyden trying to get de Nooijer going down that right-hand side. Ekelboom. Foul by Victory. Good ball. Matthijs Brouwer. This kid's almost getting that one. Takema just taking the standing foot there of the Australian, gives away the free hit. Ball hammered forward, but blown for a lift. A little unlucky there, Australia. It's not definitely a foul if the ball is hit in the air. It depends then on danger or potential to lead to danger. And that's poor concentration really by Takema, allowing that ball to elude him. Out of play, Australia with possession. Lovely ball, that's a pity that didn't find its way to Cummins, who made a good late run. Hiskins picking it up on reverse side. Eichelbohm now with some space. He's got away from Godoy. Victory in full flight after him. Lovely play from Eichelbohm. And Livermore rather, calmly taking the ball. But the free hit had already been given. There's a bit of feeling out there on the pitch. These two teams know each other well, and there may be some new faces, but there are still some old scores to settle. Now, that's a wonderful ball for Pete Hyde-Harris, long corner. Splendid atmosphere in the stadium, lots of youngsters. Dutch have organised a fantastic youth programme here again as part of the Year for Youth that hockey is celebrating this year. Kids City. Now here's a good kid, if ever there was one. Victory going all the way, and Vogels did well, but the earlier confrontation results in the penalty corner. It was desperate stuff. Takema coming back on Victory. It was this tackle just there. That's where the corner occurred. Umpire letting it go on, but Victory was already on the way down, and a penalty corner, the right result. Push Vogels, the Dutch keeper. He's had a good game. He had plenty to do in that first half. Had a little chance with the goal that went past him. Now Troy Elder's on the pitch for Australia, so it could be Wells, number 23, or it could be Troy Elder, number 5. Let's see where the shot is going to come from. It's going to be Elder. Goes low, and Vogels guessed right, went right, and knocked it away. Troy Elder didn't start the game, came on midway through that first half, and it does give Australia more options when he's on the pitch at the corners. The corners have been hard won in this game. Both teams well aware of the danger. Set piece poison. Vogels did very well there indeed. That was going right into the corner and low. A few running repairs there of the foam pads of Puss Vogels. So, all square. Holland started their campaign with a draw yesterday against Pakistan. They want to get maximum points today. Australia started with a defeat, pegged back by Germany, having taken a 1-goal lead into the half-time break. 2 second-half goals from Germany, giving Germany the full points. So Australia too are looking for maximum points. It's a round-robin affair. The top 6 teams in the world will play each other, 5 games per team, and then once that mini-league has been decided, the top 2 play off for goal. Joost Bellaert, the Dutch coach, plenty to say for himself. A man of great passion. Cummins. Livermore. Dean Butler. Closed down by Delmay. Livermore trying to find a way through. Play goes on, no whistle. Livermore thought he won a corner, but he didn't get the whistle. And the whistle does go now, but it's to give a free hit to the Netherlands. You heard the words there from the Australian bench, not to let a disappointing decision put them off their stride. You've got to keep going. Decisions have a habit of going your way sometimes and sometimes against you, but what goes around comes around. Takima, slightly casual ball, but it remains in Dutch possession. That came off Livermore's foot. Sun breaking through again. Hiskins did well on Del May, did a good job there. Well, that was Takima's got caught, but quite honestly, if he got caught by Livermore's stick, he's only got himself to blame because he piled into the back of the Aussie there. See, there it was. And Livermore really was out of control at that point. So it's caught Takima somewhere around the face. He's going off for a little bit of blood attention. So, well, he is complaining, but really he's only got himself to blame in those circumstances. He had no possible way of getting to the ball. Takima disappearing to the dressing room with the team doctor, Pete Hein-Kolkman, for some running repairs. I don't suppose it'll be too long before we see him again. Now Holland have a problem because they have Takima off and they don't have Bram Lomans on the pitch either. I can see Lomans stripping off in the dugout, so Bellart forced into making a substitution here. You've got to have somebody on the pitch who can deliver at the corners, although the Dutch have yet to win one in this game. Godoin for Koch. Almost very well picked up indeed there by Martin Eichelbaum, but just coming off the foot at the critical moment. Free hit to Australia. Lohman still preparing himself in the dugout, but at the moment the Dutch not looking as if they're going to force a corner. Australia nicely in control of the game, if not of the scoreline. Now Victory, Cummins, Victory. Lomans is on. Lomans goes into the defensive left position. There he is, Bram Lomans, something of a up-and-coming star of Dutch hockey, a legend at the penalty corner. The Dutch legend really goes on from the days of Thies Krause was such a wonderful performer at the set piece. Then, of course, Floris Bovelander. Lomans perhaps doesn't have, well, no perhaps about it, does not have the ability of either of those two former players on the field just yet, but his game is developing well. Dwyer penalised for just lifting the ball. Dutch about to bring on Remco van Wijk again as well. He'll be replacing Matthijs Brouwer. So they'll be looking for van Wijk, I'm sure, to get forward for Holland and try and force the corners. Haven't really applied much pressure on the Australian defence since the early exchanges when they scored the goal. Still no sign of Takima coming from the dressing rooms. Now Lomans. Jarrix placed out to the right-hand side, down the touchline again. Plenty of Australian shirts back defending. Matthew Smith with a strong run for Australia, fouled on the way. Well picked up by Lomans and well cleared too through Del May now. Dwyer and Van Wijk. A double strike partnership up front now for Holland. Dwyer runs into Jamie Dwyer, who takes the ball off him. Lovely ball there for Cummins with a few inches of space to work in. Now for Craig Victory, doesn't pick it up cleanly but retains the ball. Cummins again. Livermore, not the most sympathetic of passes there from Cummins to Livermore. Cummins, Victory, the Dutch foot. High ball over the top, nicely read there by Diederik van Veek. Crowd trying to lift the Dutch team. Plenty of noise in the stadium. Del May, Van der Weyde. That ball difficult for Lomans. He's going to have to stride back. And in fact, in the end, it's Van Vale who picks it up and hits the ball out of play down near the Australian bench. Now, Del May, this is better for Holland. Dwyer just couldn't get that final pass away, wins the free hit. Del May takes it quickly. Harris drives it in, takes a little deflection. Long corner to Holland. Jeroen Del May, captain of Holland. Harris in, and a good bit of goalkeeping, slightly fortuitous in the end by Dwyer, could have gone anywhere. He goes out of play on this near side. Eichelboom was diving in, trying to get a piece of the action. Well, this is good from Holland. Hoping for a penalty corner, but it's just a free hit. Just a metre or two outside the circle. Oh, maybe less, a centimetre or two. Del May with it. It's not a good angle for Holland. Have to create one. And they're entering the goal, but the whistle's already gone. Penalty corner given. Eichelboom protests, but the whistle had gone. That was quite clear. Dutch have a player down as well. Klaver it is who's down. One of those occasions when an umpire needs to hold his whistle if he can, but it's very hard in the thick of the action there. And a chance for Lomans with Takema off the field, for Lomans to repay something of the debt. There he goes, oh! Off the bar! What a shot! My goodness, I look forward to seeing that one again. Bram Lomans really got hold of that one, and Australia were very, very fortunate. I don't think Dwyer knew too much about that. Great strike there from Lomans. Here we see it again. Gee whiz, even in slow motion that was moving. Takema back on to a roar of approval from the crowd. Good work then done by the medical team on Takema, but Lomans so close there. And Lomans remains on the pitch. So the Dutch now have the dual corner threat. Takema, it is, throws it forward, but well read by Godoyne, who feeds Commons now. The game opening up a little. Victory down that left-hand side. Clattered by Van der Weyde. Livermore. Takema took it well. Everything he does is met with a roar of approval at the moment. Popular young man here in hockey circles in Holland. Takema. Lomans, he's got to move. He does move. A lovely ball forward for Harris, and an even better one now for Remco van Beek. Long corner. Holland just upping the tempo a little bit. Good spell for them. Bevan George there defending solidly for Australia. 16 minutes left on the clock. Straight to an Australian stick, poor pass. This is Bevan George. Jamie Dwyer. Good covering back there by Lomans. Takema throws a high diagonal ball, and poor stop there by Karl Klaver. Really was played with pinpoint accuracy. Dwyer taking the Australian defence on. Godoyne's got it. Floodlights come on here in Rotterdam. Commons, well robbed by Delmay. Well, a solid challenge in the midfield. Godoyne. Ben Taylor plays it out now on the right. Good ball in. Well read there by Holland. Really is end-to-end stuff. Klaver. Crowd again playing their part. Really was a fascinating goal. Lomans on for Takema. Takema keeps it in, close to touchline. Good play by Takema. Still Takema, off the foot, penalty corner. Lovely attacking play there by the Dutch defender, coming forward on an overlap, fed by Lomans, and his power and determination took him into the circle there. You saw the foot there. So, a good moment for Holland this, with their two corner specialists on the pitch. They both stand at the top of the circle. Last time it was Lomans who hit the bar. Takema yet to get a shot at goal. Holland's second corner then. It's Takema, goes low, and good save and cover work there by Australia. Hiskins with a little bit of space. He's got Lomans running after him. Oh, it's a wonderful goal. That's a magnificent goal. Troy Elder. Holland there caught napping a little bit with their two defenders up at a corner. Ball played in, and Troy Elder with the finest of touches, enough to undo Gus Vogel's. So Australia go ahead, 2-1 they lead against the Netherlands. Troy Elder. Well, not much Vogel could do about that, just a little deflection, and Holland were exposed there. And that's put a bit of a step in the Australian game now, and the Dutch look rattled. That's Matthew Smith down, injured on the turf, and he's gone for that left wrist, I think. So, is that a flaw in the Dutch game when they take out their two big defenders? They were caught napping there. Wonderful goal. Oof. I think that hurt. No, he's a big strong boy though, isn't he? Don't worry about the colour of his teeth, by the way. All the players very sensibly favouring dentist-fitted mouth guards to protect their handsome good looks. Well, that goal was certainly a kick in the teeth for Holland. They're not used to being behind here on home soil. Big job now for their captain Jeroen Delmay to do to rebuild the team. I think the general consensus is that this Dutch team are some way away from the team that they'll want to be defending their World Cup title next year in Malaysia. A lot of development work still to be done. One or two players not available here through injury will come back into the reckoning. And lots of fine-tuning and team building still to take place. Now, Ekelboom, De Nooijer, around which any Dutch team must be built. Now, Van Beek. Again, the ball coming off the foot, but not picked up there by either umpire. Play goes on. Scotty Webster trying to find a way through. Now Holland with 10.5 minutes to go. They need to go forward now. They'll be looking to get a draw out of this as a minimum return. Takema doesn't trap it cleanly. Takema, you see the plaster there on his chin from that facial injury picked up from this man earlier on. Delmay. Ekelboom waiting for the ball that paid off for him. Livermore, little push in the back. Free hit to Holland. De Nooijer going from a deep position. No way through there, surely. Again a free hit. Australia breaking the play down. Ekelboom again impeded. Well, Holland are going to get back into this game. They're going to have to work very hard indeed. It's determined looking Australia. And Van Beek whining one which goes over the top of the grandstand here off a defender stick for a corner. Takema, Van Beek. Takema with a hit in. Van Beek close to that goal line. Boring his way through and fouling the process, backing into the defender. Super scoop out of defence and very nicely taken by Takema. His stick was quite high. Delmay plays it off an Australian foot. Ekelboom. Livermore's got it. Hiskins. Good ball forward there, looking for Matthew Smith, but Takimar's got the legs on him, and ball coming up off Smith's foot into his throat. He's okay, I think. This will be an important win for Australia if they can deliver it here. Van Beek. Hard ball in there, good save, good defending there, good support from the Australian captain Paul Godoyne. Play goes on. Victory's got space on the right hand side. This is Victory, and all very close there indeed. Umpire O'Connor, I think, spotted something at the other end. It's very well not to blow the whistle. I think it's Del May who... no, it's Van Beek who's talking to, is it? Not particularly clear. Remco Van Beek shown the yellow card. Suspended. Desperate attempt at play the ball. So Holland will be down to 10 men. And a third goal there for Australia really would have sewn things up. Piet-Hein Harris comes on, replacing Karel Klaver. So problems for Joost Bellart and problems for Holland too. Good dummy by the giant Lomans. And with 11 men, this is going to be a tough ask for the Netherlands. I think now with 10, it may be one beyond them. And Umpire O'Connor has got to get on top of this game. Feelings running high. It's an important game, not just in the context of this tournament, but in the long-running list of battles between these two great hockey nations. The Dutch, beating Australia in the Olympic semi-final, ripped the heart out of many of the Australians. They've set their hearts on a gold medal on home territory. This game, of course, pales into insignificance against an Olympic semi-final, but it's still a scalp the Australians would like to take home with them. Australia with the ball, 5.5 minutes left to go. They lead by 2-1. Good comeback. Lovely run to the circle, great finish, and that is probably game over. Matthew Smith, it was, chasing the ball hard into the circle, and let's enjoy it again as he unleashes a fair strike beyond Vogels. A bouncing ball, he took it brilliantly, didn't he? No chance for Vogels. Watch him again, ball bouncing up beautifully for him, through Vogels really. So 3-1 to the men from down under. Australia in control. Livermore. Dwyer got it. This is Piet-Hein Harris. Takimar, poor ball from him. Now the goal scorer, Matthew Smith. What a goal it was. Some hard thinking on the Dutch bench. Joost Bellart took over the coach's role after Sydney. Player power forcing out the former coach. Bram Lomans, what a different game this could have been if that Lomans corner had gone in rather than canning in against the bar. And Taylor blowing a little bit there. It's been a fast pace, but only 3.5 minutes left now for Australia. And they'll celebrate in style. Tomorrow's a rest day. Dwyer. Del May and Dwyer combining, but not successfully on this occasion. Lovely skills there, and it's broken. Ooh. If that ball had gone forward to Dean Butler rather than going sideways to Craig Victory, it could have been goal number 4. Eichelbohm. Wonderful ball, chance here, goal! Matthias Brouwer. Game on again. Yes, he enjoyed that. Poor marking by Australia, good finish by Brouwer. And with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock, there's just the one goal in it now. Is that a lifeline for Holland, or is it too little, too late? Well, it could be a grandstand finish. Right. Got to go route 1 now for Holland. A little over 2 minutes. Lovely ball there from Takima. If Holland can get a corner now, it could be a wonderful finish. Really the first time in this game that the Dutch have found any space in that Australian circle at all. Maybe Australia were mentally already in the change room with the win under their belt. Well, they've got another 100 seconds or so to survive. Driven in. And O'Connor has a long look, but it's a 16-yard hit out to the Aussies. Australia getting the ball as far away from their own goal as they possibly can. Holland with some urgency now. A little bit more hope coursing through their bodies. Dwyer. Still Dwyer, lovely run from Dwyer, lovely skill. And the ball couldn't just pick out that final pass. Eichelbohm was in support. Ball just getting trapped there. We're into the last minute. Can Holland still get something from this game? Australia so close to a famous victory. Oh, that ball just too far ahead of Takima. There won't be many more opportunities. Australia in no rush. Sensible aerial ball thrown at the top. 20 seconds left. Surely there's no way back for Holland now. Lohmans, crowd urging him forward. There's not going to be time. Dwyer. Takima, it's got to go into the circle. We're less than 10 seconds there. In it goes. In the air. That'll be the last action, I fear. And what an exciting finale. Bellart knows it's all up for his team, though. And the final hooter goes. And the crowd fall silent. Bellart thanks the people on the bench, his team around him. But today he tastes defeat. Australia have won this exciting game here in Rotterdam, and justifiably so. They've beaten the Netherlands by 3 goals to 2.
Oh my goodness me, what a goal! And it's there!
This has been a C7 Sport presentation.